Hey everyone, Mr. Sujano here, your source for gaming, tech, emulation, and open source news. Let's get started. Alright, to kick things off, we're talking about Windows emulation on Android with Winlator CMOD. For those who are unaware, Winlator CMOD is a fork of Winlator. CMOD stands for Subscribe to Mr. Sujano, and, well, Coffin Colors is the one behind this one. Anyways here, CMOD has a brand new progress update and also a look forward. So they say here, Winlator CMOD development will be continuing, and their focus on the next release will be mostly quality of life. This means addressing long-standing bug fixes, but more importantly, merging and crediting improvements from other forks of CMOD from trusted developers. So by the looks of it, I would say here these are pretty exciting improvements. I mean, controller improvements and touchscreen control improvements. Minor UI improvements and enhancements. They're updating all drivers, FX, Box64, and graphics wrapper, and also avoiding pure AI code slop. They're improving ALSA reflector, so audio stops cutting out after 15 minutes unless you switch to headphones. Now, I don't know about you, but I would argue here that the future of Winlator CMOD is very bright. I mean, taking a look at this information, and this is just quality of life stuff in a 13.2 update. With version 14, they're saying it's going to be even more substantial. I mean, overhauling how containers are created and making something more aligned and user-friendly like GameHub. Just overall here, I think these are really good aspirations for Winlator CMOD. Let me know your thoughts about this in the comments below. And speaking about looking forward, next up here, we're kind of talking about the exact opposite. We're talking about looking back. And RPCS3 has a brand new video on YouTube I would recommend checking out. It's titled RPCS3 2024 Highlights Showcase. If you're interested and wanted to learn more about it, like everything we talk about, links are within the GitHub link in the bottom of the description below. I don't hide my sources. The video itself is just over 8 minutes long. It's not very long at all, and this is more or less like a visual progress report. It's going over a lot of the stuff they accomplished in 2024. Now, we looked at a lot of this stuff back in 2024 when it was new, but at the same time here, a lot of people may be unaware about a lot of these improvements. 2024 was a huge year for RPCS3. The entire video is timestamped. It's very well documented and I would say very well put together. Let me know your thoughts about this one in the comments below. And speaking about videos on YouTube, next up here we're talking about iiSU and a really interesting video and a very interesting project. We've talked about iiSU a bunch in previous videos, and someone here has taken the project into their own hands and kind of done their own thing with it. This is called iiSU Emulation Station DE, and it's a brand new video up on YouTube. You can see here while I was talking, the video ended. It's not very long at all. It's 27 seconds long. The project is up on GitHub, and it's titled iiSU Interpreted, a work-in-progress port of iiSU, an upcoming clean UI to ESDE, Emulation Station Desktop Edition. Let me know your thoughts about this one in the comments below, even though the entire iiSU project was kind of blown up and is continuing under Sapphire. At the same time here, stuff for the project has been released, and I would say a lot of it is receiving quite a bit of attention. And speaking about stuff receiving a lot of attention, next up here we're talking about custom Mesa Turnip drivers and Snapdragon 8 series CPUs. A lot of people might be excited about this one, but you will have to be patient. So it looks like they've implemented initial Adreno Gen 8 support. They say this series adds initial support for Adreno Gen 8. Including A840, aka the Snapdragon 8 Elite Gen 5, and X285, aka Snapdragon X2. Performance features and Turnip support will come over time as they're ready. So basically here, it's one step closer to custom Mesa Turnip drivers. They're not there yet, and I've got no time frame as to when they might be there, but at the same time here, there is hope. And speaking about cool stuff on the way, next up here we're talking about MelonDS. And this is a brand new post up on Reddit Emulation titled MelonDS, New Hardware Renderer in the Works. Feel free to check out the post for more information here, but I am very curious to see how this turns out. They're building a proper OpenGL-based 2D renderer. They say the advantage is that this opens up a lot of fun possibilities. Not only is it easier to integrate high-res 3D graphics, but even 2D graphics can be improved upon. Now, unfortunately, I don't know when this will be complete, but I do think it's something worth paying attention to and keeping your eye on MelonDS for. Let me know your thoughts about this one in the comments below, but taking a look at the comments here on Reddit, and a lot of people seem to be extremely excited about it. And speaking about stuff on Reddit and interesting information, next up here we're talking about a post on Reddit emulation on Android. This one is titled Sega Forever 100% free and offline. So by the looks of it, the Sega Forever site has been archived. They say, so Sega Forever ended support for a majority of its games ages ago. With that, they became 100% offline, free with no ads. And there are a couple of exceptions. Sonic 1 and Sonic 2 ports, as they're still available on Google Play. And also, Burner Climax was removed long beforehand, so expect technical issues with it. And Crazy Taxi has its original soundtrack. But it looks like a bunch of games have been backed up. And speaking about backed up, next up here we're talking about Assassin's Creed Black Flag, or rather Assassin's Creed Black Flag Resynced. And this game has just appeared on Peggy's rating site. Taking a look at the link, and the link doesn't work, but the image has been backed up. So it looks like Assassin's Creed Black Flag Resynced is going to be announced, or at least revealed, fairly soon, maybe even at the Game Awards. And speaking about awards, next up we're talking about BAFTA, and BAFTA has revealed their 2025 nominees for all of these awards, and these are video game awards. So there's categories like animation, artistic achievement, audio achievement, best game, British game, debut game, and even more. Surprisingly here, not surprisingly, there's a lot of indies on the list. Hollow Knight Silksong makes its appearance on a bunch of different categories. Hades 2 is in a bunch of different categories. And Clair Obscur Expedition 33 seems to be in almost every single category. Now, I know there's a lot of debate as to whether or not Clair Obscur Expedition 33 is an indie game or not, but either way here, I am really glad to see it nominated so much. And I'm glad to see it holding its own against some very heavy hitters like Death Stranding 2. So go on ahead and take a look at the categories and let me know your thoughts about the nominees in the comments below, because I would argue here there's a lot of games that I wouldn't have expected to be nominated, but I'm really glad to see on these lists. And speaking about indie games, next up we're talking about indie games and Xbox. And if you're within the Xbox ecosystem, you might like this announcement here if you like indie games. The Xbox Selects Demo Fest has just started. Right now, there's over 30 demos to check out, and who knows, you might find your next favorite game, or at least a game worth checking out. There's stuff in there like Cassette Boy and even more. And continuing to talk about announcements, next up here we're talking about EVO, and if you're a fan of fighting games, or watching fighting games, or competing in fighting game tournaments, or watching fighting game tournaments, you might be excited about EVO. Anyways, here, EVO just revealed their 2026 lineup, and there was a big surprise. So taking a look at the lineup, and there's some not surprises in there, like Street Fighter 6 and Tekken 8 and Guilty Gear and even Fatal Fury City of the Wolves. However, in the top right corner here got a lot of people excited. Vampire Savior was announced as a main stage game. Let me know your thoughts about that one in the comments below, but I mean, if you're a Darkstalkers fan, you're going to be excited about that one. 2XKO, not surprised at all either. That's going to be a main stage game. And Rivals of Aether 2, I'm pleasantly surprised and very happy to see there. Let me know your thoughts about this entire list in the comments below, and if they missed anything that you wanted to be a part of the main stage. And speaking about main stage stuff, if you consider the Google Play Store the main stage, next up here we're talking about one of my favorite mobile games, and that is Horizon Chase. Interesting, the screenshot here shows Horizon Chase Turbo, which never released for mobile, at least not for Android. That was released on PC and Steam. But anyways here, Horizon Chase for Android has seemingly been taken off the Google Play Store. I mean, taking a look on the Google Play Store here, and it's no longer listed, and unfortunately, I've got no idea what's going on. Their Twitter account is relatively inactive. Their website hasn't been updated in a while, and I've reached out to them and have not heard a response yet. And this to me is super unfortunate, and especially for those like myself who have paid for the game and also for some of their DLC. So as a friendly PSA, if you do uninstall this game from your phone, chances are you're going to have a really tough time reinstalling it. I took a look at my Google Play history and it's no longer listed in apps I own. The game is installed on my phone and everything does seem to be working in terms of the gameplay, but at the same time here, I've got no idea what's going on. And this is one of the things I really hate about Google Play and DRM and all of that stuff. Now heading on over to the App Store here for Apple devices, and I can see Horizon Chase World Tour still available. The last time it was updated was back in 2023. I'm wondering if it's going to remain available or if it's going to be taken down too. And I was also wondering when Horizon Chase 2 was going to make its way to Android, and I'm guessing now that answer is never. So I'll say if you are on Android and haven't played Horizon Chase or Horizon Chase Turbo, the best way to experience this might be through something like GameHub or Winlator. I haven't checked the compatibility overall yet, but there is a free demo to check out if you are interested. Overall, I do think this is an absolutely fantastic game, and I'm a little bit heartbroken to know that this game has been removed from Android. Hopefully it makes a return at some point in time, but right now things do not look hopeful. Let me know your thoughts about this one. Next up, we're shifting from software to hardware and something that you actually own, and we're talking about keyboards. And anyways here, Sega has collaborated with Higround for some very interesting Sonic-themed keyboards and a Dreamcast-themed keyboard. So taking a look at their website for these designs, and I think the artwork on these looks pretty good. I think personally, I'm a fan of the Dreamcast one, just the simplistic, straightforward one. Sometimes less is more. But also the one with Sonic, Tails, and Knuckles. I think that one looks great as well. It is worth noting some of these have little to no labeling, which might be a deal breaker for some people. So let me know your thoughts about these ones and which ones you think look the best, and if you're even interested. I believe they go on sale in limited quantities starting tomorrow. Unfortunately, I don't know the numbers for these things. I don't know the price, but it does say receive early access 15 minutes before public sale on December 12th, which is tomorrow. And you can get a text reminder. But anyways, that is all I've got for you in this one. Straight to the point, all stuff and no fluff. We talked about a bunch today. Feel free to discuss anything we talked about in the comments below. If you like this video, leave a like. If you didn't like this video, leave a like. Hit that subscribe button. Check out my other videos. Don't tempt fate. Save your state.